Happy Saturday, happy Veterans Day. Welcome to the Paradigm Shift, episode 138. That's 138 weeks in a row, no weeks off. We have a very special guest on today. I personally could be more excited. Let's have some fun. Let us know in the chats how you guys are feeling. We're going to bring on Brian in less than 5 minutes, less than 5. In the meantime, I'm going to wait for my co-pilot, Big Dave, and we're going to get this party started. Let's try some questions too. Let's have some fun. Let's get absolutely nuts, guys. Life is great. Yes? Okay, good. Let's see where Big Dave is, and let's get it. Oh, what up, Jen? Big Dave. I see you. Let's do this. Brian, what's up, brother? I see you. We're going to bring you on lesson 5. Big Dave!
Good morning, Mr. Siegel, the Eagle.
Great morning, handsome. Where are you?
I am in Wisconsin. Had a very long month this week and just amazing things going on. So it's good to be here with my friend, cross country. What's going on with you?
Everything's great. Fresh off the marathon last Sunday, feeling good. No place to rather be than right here with you. Are you going to see a Packer game?
I am not. I have my daughter's family weekend, and then I'm off to London, Portugal, Madrid, and Malta. Be back on Friday.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We're there, buddy.
You are an enigma, a handsome one.
We love you, man. What's going on? What do you got for me?
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to bring on Brian, lesson 5. I wanted to ask you this. I know how spiritual you are and connected and high consciousness and all that stuff, and something I work on every day. Aside from your spiritual goals, like connecting and all the real meaningful stuff, how much weight do you give to like physical milestones along the journey?
Well, every day I am a physical being having a spiritual journey. And so, for example, a minimum of an hour a day is spent simply on my health, which is all physical. And then the other parts of mental, spiritual, emotional. But a minimum of an hour a day, plus 7 hours of sleep. So about a third of my life will be spent prioritizing as a non-negotiable my physical, and then prioritizing the other 2/3 accordingly. I believe that you have to be physical today in a trajectory where you want to be tomorrow by applying the spiritual.
Like are certain, materialistic milestones, like do you give those weight, like financial goals or running a marathon, something like that? Like, are those important to you, or those are just part of the process and the journey?
Well, it's interesting you say running a marathon, right? Everyone has their own physical objectives, right? Mine's to be healthy. And when I was younger, I would, want to bench over 300 pounds. I wanted to run a half marathon under 90 minutes. Those were things that I did when I was young. But my priorities changed, right? Here's how I see it. If you live in abundance, in an unlimited world, then all of your beliefs are limiting, right? If you truly believe in more than enough of everything. And so you need to see which limiting beliefs serve you best. So for example, when I was 18, the limiting belief that motorcycles are dangerous did not serve me. And so I didn't utilize that belief. At 55, it serves me to say that motorcycles are dangerous. They're both different circumstances of limiting beliefs that I live in an abundant world in infinite. So if believing that a milestone, a physical milestone, is going to create what you want or better in your life, then let it serve you. For me, my mission now, which is different than it was, is to empower over 1 billion people. So 3.5 miles is more aligned as a limiting belief with my health than running 26 miles. I have a friend, Chad Sanchagrin, and he's 50, and he's running 50 marathons in under 5 hours. But it serves him, right? It serves him because he now ran it with his daughter. It serves him. But for me, the limiting belief is if I ran that many marathons, one, I have better uses of my time. Two, I believe, which is limiting, but it serves me, that it's going to do more damage to my knees and back than if I did other types of exercises that are more stretching, balance, cardio related. And that limiting belief serves me at 55, but may not serve other people where they are in their life. And so that's kind of the perspective that I give it. But every day I have objectives and goals. This is where the ferocious Buddha came from, right? Every day I have trajectory, I have goals and missions, and I just am more aware of that each day there's external circumstances that change. So I want to be able to adapt day by day and maintain a long-term objective by doing my best, learning lessons, and having fun.
Right. So we dropped the mic while we just get warmed up.
Congratulations on what serves you best. Completing a marathon is very, very impressive. It shows discipline. It shows vision. What was your time?
3:27.
That's awesome, man. So, and how did you feel afterwards?
Physically or mentally?
Well, I mean, the next day, physically.
Physically, I'm all right. I mean, I'm a little beat up. It feels like I ran a marathon.
I could love it.
Yeah, I love you. I'm so happy I asked that question because it's just a beautiful answer in different seasons, different priorities, and all that stuff. And
I got to bring up one more thing before you bring B on. Is I used to, when I was your age and help people, I used to think my way was the way. That's not true, right? Like waking up early is not the way, just because I love to wake up early. Running marathons is not the way, just because you love running marathons. So my way is not the way is probably the biggest lesson that I take from people who run marathons.
Yeah, beautifully said. I love it. I'm going to bring on Brian. We get this party started. We're going to continue this party, I should say.
Let's keep the party started.
How was the filming, by the way?
Oh my gosh. You know, you're missing out. My way's not the way, but I see Rick Jordan in the house. It is probably the most valuable thing that I do. Just incredible. We had, John Taffer and Tim Story, and the list just goes on and on. We had Eckler, of course, and it was amazing. Tom Bilyeu, amazing people, but not as amazing as this handsome soul right here.
What's going on, fellas? How you guys doing?
Brian,
good morning.
Thanks for joining us, brother. How are you?
I'm great, man. I woke up today. I'm feeling amazing. Glad to be here. Congrats on the marathon and the book. And Dave, good to see your face, man. I've been a follower and a fan for a long time, man.
Thank you, man. Great to see you.
Yeah, love it. Brian, where are you dialing in from, brother?
Northern California. Love it. And more specifically, a baseball field. Been out here since 7 a.m. I got, 4 kids in multiple sports. So my days are on the weekends are work in between five, 6 sports games. So I love it. I love it. So I'm out at the baseball field. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Good for you. I love it. And for our communities and audience, in case you weren't familiar with Brian, Dave and I always suggest do a deep dive, give him a follow, check out all the awesome stuff he's got going on in order to make the most use of our time. We're just going to dive right in.
Appreciate it.
I was checking out some of your badass content, which really resonated to me, and I suggest everybody look at it immediately. And one of the cool things that I saw you talk about, which I think will be a good conversation piece for today, is, 2023, there's so much to consume. There's almost too much. And I saw you say, stop trying to learn more and start focusing on being more. And I think that's a good nugget for today. Tell us what you mean by that, brother.
So as far as, everyone focuses on, they're looking outward, they're looking at all this content. Everyone's producing content, right? And they try to aspire to be like people. And half the people online, a lot of these people online are not real. There's a lot of fakeness out there. There's a lot of show out there. And there's some good, real people like you fellows and a lot of our mutual friends and stuff like that. But, especially the younger generation, they're just seeing wins, and they're seeing this playbook of wins. And really the best thing to do for yourself is to work on yourself, follow people that inspire and motivate you, that have built real things and are doing real things. And it's just, social media is so flooded, man. It's just, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Dave?
You know?
Yeah, you know what's so interesting is I think there's three areas for young people, and they're dichotomous in nature, meaning that they actually are counterintuitive. One is AI, right? If you're young and you're not learning about AI, you're going to make a big mistake in your longevity of differentiators in your life. But the other two have nothing to do with technology. One is person-to-person skills. If you're not working on the person-to-person skills, which has nothing to do with following anyone, engaging with anyone, learning anything, it's just simply connecting to people emotionally. You're going to find that the kids that can do that are going to be rewarded exponentially. And if they know a little bit about AI or can afford to pay someone that knows about AI, they're going to have an exponential result of the exponentiality. But the last one is, to me, one in which a lot of people don't understand. I think that if I was a kid, it's very important to practice reading, because there's so much fake shit out there that if you don't practice, see, you got to study his story, not his story, because there's a lot of people telling stories just so you listen instead of studying history, which gives us human nature and lessons about how to determine what's real and what's not real. Those who can, one, determine what's real and not real, and two, connect to the real, are going to benefit exponentially in the next 50 years. And I have my children. I don't care what you read. I want you to practice reading. So when somebody sends you an email saying, hey, Tony Robbins wants to interview you, and you go, why would Tony Robbins have a Gmail address? Two, why would Tony Robbins want $2,000 the day before Venmo to me?
Yeah.
That's not a matter of common sense. That's a matter of people-to-people interaction, understanding AI, and three, being able to F and read. If you know how to read, you're going to be able to tell the bullshit from the shinola, and you're going to be able to exceed in everything that you do.
Shinola. I love it.
Dave, can you run that back with hit story?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a good one.
You.
Man, there's a lot of storytellers out there. You know, there's two types of storytellers. Those people that tell stories to tell stories, his story. And then there's ones that tell stories to teach you his story. And his story is human nature, and to teach you the lessons in order to allow and empower you to make better decisions in a trajectory or aiming towards something that you want, whether it's to help people or make money or have fun. You know, the fact that I have 4 kids as well. I'm here in Wisconsin. Nice. People are like, what, do you got a speaking gig up there? No, it's my daughter's family weekend in Wisconsin. And whatever it takes to be and prioritize what I want is, you know, what makes me fulfilled, passionate, purposeful. And ironically, the profits keep following.
Love that. I love that, man. Touch base on a couple of those things if I can. So yeah, history, what you're talking about, like anyone that you follow, what is their history? What have they done? What's their timeline? What are they talking on? Like when I coach and I make my content, it's all off of experiences. I never train, I never teach, I never talk about anything I haven't done. And I feel like a lot of these people are talking about shit they haven't done, right? And then another thing, you're talking about person-to-person contact. It's the simple things. It's like when I'm walking up to this baseball game, walking by people, total strangers, looking them in the eye and saying, good morning, how you doing? And I do that all the time. I feel like it's crazy. That's such an old school thing to do nowadays, but like no one does it. They're all looking down. They're looking at their phones. They can't even make eye contact. They can't say, and it's a friendly thing to do. Like, how do you interact with people? What kind of person are you? What are you about? What are you doing every day to work on yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, you know, becoming the best version of you? Like, don't worry about any versions of anyone else. As long as you're becoming the best version that you can be every day, and every day you're a little bit better by doing something different, you're improving 1-2%, right?
That's it. And also, like, your level 3, say one of us is on level 3.
Yeah.
Someone else's level 3 is completely different. In fact, someone else's level 5 is completely different than your level 5 because you don't know where they're at in their spiritual journey. So I love this.
And you also don't know what anyone is suffering, right? You don't know. And so by smiling at someone, waving at someone, saying hello to someone, we've all been there. It can actually set you in a different direction simply because you're so alone and so empty, and someone's smiling at you. I do this with a lot of homeless people. It's not just money, right? It's looking them in the eye
Yes.
and letting them know that they matter, that they
Yes.
acknowledging them. And that would mean way more than feeding them, way more than giving them money.
So
And
much,
it can save their life by acknowledging who they are with that smile, that wave, that eye contact.
so much power in it.
Yeah, beautifully said. Shifting gears for a second, I got a fun one. B. Simply put, do hard shit first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, here's the thing, guys. Like, I've lost everything. I've had nothing, and I've built something from nothing, and I'm horrible at most things. Like, I've come to terms with that. I'm horrible at most things. There's a few things I'm really good at. Discipline, consistency, taking action, and doing hard work. And as I do the hard work, and as I prioritize it first, I evolve and I become better at doing that hard work, more efficient. Because you just can't work hard. You can't just beat your head against the wall. You have to do the work, get experiences, take losses, learn lessons. And then as you do that, you become better at what you do, right? So then, you work smarter and more efficiently. And when you combine that with working hard, magical things happen, because so many people grind, work hard. They don't realize, well, I can work hard and I can get just as much done in half the amount of time as you because I'm more efficient, I'm more experienced, And by prioritizing hard things first, everyone shies away from the hard things. And it's human nature. We hate hard shit, stuff we're not good at, stuff we don't like. We shy away from it. And that's all of us, even us at the top level, myself included, right? But just through experience, I know when you get that hard shit done, there's kind of that relief, that sense of accomplishment. This gets your mind going in the right direction, get your body going in the right direction, and then everything else seems easy for the day. You've already won the day first thing. Everything else is a piece of cake, right?
And there's two things. Yeah, man, I was going to say, B, there's two things incorporated into that. My mom always had this saying, I'm right-handed. I'm predominantly right-handed. And she always said, cut your right hand fingernails first, right? Always start with your right, because it's so hard.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a strong right, to cut your right hand because your left hand sucks. And so, I look at life that way. I'm always cutting my right hand fingernails first. But more importantly, when you do that, what happens is you build a muscle that has the most and best outcomes for you, which is a muscle called learning to love what you do. You see, when we do the hard things, we start learning to love the hard things. And if you can learn to love something and you do it consistently and you do it persistently and you do it long enough, it will tell you all its secrets. It will give you the cheat codes. And when you have the cheat codes, even the hardest things and the hardest games in the world are easy, not dis-easy. And so what you're talking about, to me, is one of the secrets of success, of getting secrets of success, is cutting your fingernails on the opposite hand first and learning to love and building the muscle of love about what you don't think you can do or what you don't like to do. Will tell you all its secrets, and it will transform the dis-easy into the easy. And when you can do things that other people can't do easily, it rewards you exponentially as well.
Amen.
It's
beautiful.
And it's doing that all the time, every time, not just here and there, right? It's, you got to be consistent with it.
Yes, and we'll land the plane with this. Speaking of consistency, brother, Brian, I love that you say it doesn't have to be either or when it comes to consistency or intensity. Consistent intensity.
Yes.
I love that. What do you mean by that?
Well, because, I see it all the time, and I see people speak on it, and I see these memes about it. I know you guys have seen the memes too, where like it starts off real hot and heavy, and then it dives down over time, and then it shows like a graph of consistency over a long time, and then obviously consistency over time we know wins. Consistency over time wins. It's how you get in great areas in life. All of us have done that. That's why we are where we are. But I dare to challenge everybody, and intensity and passion and fire and a high level of intent in everything you do. Hustle, heart, attitude, and effort. Every day we control those percentages as soon as our feet hit the ground. How much hustle are we going to put in this day? Effort. How much attitude, how much heart are we going to put into our outlook, how we respond to things, how we do everything, right? So we can control that on an everyday basis. We can control how intense we are, you know, and there's power in intensity. And I think that as a high level man or woman trying to stand out from everybody and get to great places in life, you can be intense consistently. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard because, you know, being intense and being passionate, you use more energy, it tires you out. But we're here to be great. We're here to stand out. We're here to reach big goals and not be like everyone else. So I'm not here to just be consistent at 50% of my capacity every day. I'm here to be consistent at 80, 90, 100% of what I can do, leaving all on the field every day in everything I do. Every little interaction, every big interaction, it's a representation of who I am, and it's a reflection of me, right?
I love that. Dave?
Yeah, well, one, there's a difference between the extra mile and the empty mile, right? And that extra mile is people, they go the extra mile every once in a while with varying degrees of intensity, and then they use that to justify why they aren't where they want to be, because they're like, oh, dude, I stayed up till 3 a.m. on Saturday trying to do that. And I'm like, okay, well, I do it a minimum of an hour a day, every day, doing my best, learning lessons and having fun. And what I've found is people ask me, well, how the heck did you do that? There's no one that's doing as many of that as you. There's no one that's being able to, how do you do that? And it's because I give everything I have for a minimum amount of time every day. I don't go the extra mile on Saturdays. It just doesn't serve me, and I end up in the exact same place. The only difference is I'm blaming all the times I went the extra mile on why I'm not where I am, instead of justifying why I am where I am because of who I am and how consistent and persistent I am. And Brian and Craig, those are the attributes in which I admire in both of you, and which is why both of you have turned your lives in a direction where people are following what you do, because you are yourselves intelligent followers of others, and you're leading the way, pulling up a seat next to you and asking others to pull up a seat next to them. This is amazing community. B, we got to do more as well. Enjoy the baseball game. I can't tell you how many of these paradigm shifts we've done from the side of a field.
Nice.
And Craigie Poo, he'll be there in a couple of years if he really convinces that girl to marry him, but we'll see.
There we go.
Brian, this was awesome, brother. Have an unbelievable weekend. Thank you for joining us. Looking forward to staying connected and do many more things. And Arrow community, go check out all the great stuff he's got going on.
Right.
Dave,
thank you, guys.
Thank you, brother. Love you.
Congrats. Keep up the great work. Cut your right fingernails first. I'll see you guys later.
Every time.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Perfect conversation at the perfect time, guys. That was awesome. Big Dave, thank you as always. For our community, if you weren't familiar with Brian, do yourself a favor. Jump off the live and check out all the awesome stuff he's got going on now. He's a cool cat, real raw, authentic, and he's doing some great stuff. Very inspirational too. So definitely enter his world and thank me later. Big week this week, coming off the New York City Marathon, in which we ran a PR. It's always nice. Just having my first one back today. Supposed to take 5 days off of that. Be honest, I'm a little beat up. I feel like I ran a marathon, but it's all good. And we just got another major milestone from our book. Wall Street Journal and USA Today bestselling Reinvention Formula just continues to go, continues to sell, and I'm so pumped. Personally, I don't even think I think it's gonna make even more of an impact in a couple of years from now, for being honest. But thank you guys for everything, and thank you for joining us every Saturday morning. I know you could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us. Episode 138 in the books. Jen, love you, and we'll be back for 139. And also, we dropped a couple of really good episodes on the CLS Experience podcast this week as well. Neil, how you doing? Good listens, perfect listens, if I'm being honest, to inspire you, but also provide the tangible tools to hit the ground running and take massive, decisive, inspired action. You dig? Oh, and the hunt for the perfect wedding venue continues. Love you guys. We'll be back next week. Have a good weekend.